410, and it is 410. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Try it again.
Is that better?
Oh, we can hear you now. So let's start over.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell the story again because apparently John has unmuted our stream, I think. So now
Thanks,
the
John.
world can hear the story about how I thought my propeller was out of balance because you were shaking so hard.
Yeah.
Now, I've been doing this for a number of years. And when I say number of years, not as old as you are, actually. And we're sitting there, and I haven't even started the motor yet. And she's in the seat, and they're strapping her in. And I feel this vibration going on. And what the? I know my propeller's balanced. I mean, I know I've had a chip and I repaired it, but wow. And we look up there, and she's shaking so hard. How do you feel now?
Well, I'm still shaking because you're making me talk to the camera.
Are you afraid to talk to the whole world?
No, I'm not. That was super fun.
Do you realize this late last night when I got back to the camper, I did a Google search. I don't like Google, but I did a search on the internet for Sun and Fun Paradise, and this stream came up number 1 in the search.
Yeah.
That means that there's a number of people listening to you right now around the world. How does that make you feel?
Everybody, you need to take a ride in a paraglider with this man. It is the best thing you will do.
Well, one thing is for sure, there's a number of good instructors around the country, and if you check USPA.org, you can find a good qualified instructor near you.
Yeah, it was super fun. It was, I fly Cessna 150s, and so.
You do?
Not anything like that.
How many hours do you have?
I have about 280.
280 hours. Well, that's impressive. We've got a lot of folks up here that wish they had that many hours.
Yeah, it's a lot of cross countries from Arkansas to Florida.
That's a good destination, actually.
8 hours one way.
You know,
8 hours.
I used to live in Memphis, and I used to take my motorcycle on trips out to Hot Springs all the time out there. Real nice country. So tell us about your airplane and what you normally. It's the same airplane you always fly?
Yeah, so I learned to fly in the 150, and now I'm teaching my students as a CFI in the same 150.
Whoa!
So.
You mean? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You mean to tell me? How old are you again?
19.
You're 19. You're a CFI, and you caused my propeller to be unbalanced even before I started it.
Well, I didn't know I was going to sit in the front.
Would that have made a difference if you were the pilot in command?
Well, I'm just now getting used to sitting in the right seat, so I mean, changing positions.
Oh.
You know what I mean? You know?
Yeah, I know it's difficult to do that, especially when you're flying something like this, because it's totally different than a fixed-wing aircraft, isn't it? Doesn't it feel totally different?
It does. It's really nice though, but yeah, it's fun.
You're kind of at a loss for words right now, aren't you?
I am, because, well, I've got Dad ready to. I've got him signed up for it tomorrow.
What are you signed up for tomorrow?
Well, what I was saying was that I got to get my dad flying one of these
Oh,
tomorrow. So
there you go. How much does your dad weigh?
he's trying to get a first class medical, if that says anything.
How much does he weigh?
Probably between 200, 210.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying that because here at this show, the maximum that I'll take up is 210. Although this wing has much more capacity,
Yeah.
I've taken somebody up 310 at our airport at Lake Susie, which is a 3,800 foot runway.
Yeah.
And I don't want to push any envelopes
Right.
here in front of everybody. So 210 is my maximum. In fact, this morning we did a 215 fella, and we were longer than I liked on that.
Yeah.
So we're going to make sure that we do that, and we'd start back even farther next time. Runway behind you is what? Wasted. Runway behind you is wasted runway.
That's right.
Is that what you teach your students?
It is.
What's the number one rule that you teach your students?
The number one rule?
Number one rule.
No?
I'll tell you what my number one rule is after you say
Okay.
yours.
Well,
You may have a better one than mine.
my number one rule, number one, is to have fun. That's my number one rule.
And being you're 19 years old, I would believe that.
Yes.
My number one rule is to always have landable terrain within easy gliding distance.
Well, I didn't know we were going to like pull up our CFI knowledge here. I mean, we can talk about density altitude if you want to.
We could talk about
we can
that.
talk about
All right, so let's talk about density altitude this morning. What do you think the density altitude is now? Theoretically, we're going to say we're sea level. We're probably about like 30 feet here, ground level. I'd have to check. But so what would you think density altitude to be?
Man, I don't know. but it's not too hot
Not
right
too
now.
hot,
So
right.
I wouldn't say landing one of those would have take too much runway.
Most of my students, they're simple. They don't want to get into the details. They don't want to do density altitude calculators. So Paul's rule on density altitude, if it's 90 degrees Fahrenheit and 90% humidity, it's equal to 2,700 feet at sea level. So it's Paul's 90-90 rule. If you do it that way, then that'll really tell you, well, maybe we should use the long runway. Maybe we should make sure that we're always at the back of the runway, or maybe even use a bigger wing.
Right.
Right. Do you think adding more gas would help to your gas tank?
Adding more gas?
Yeah, it really wouldn't, would it?
I don't think so,
no,
right?
it-
Because you gotta.
Lift more weight. That's right.
Right.
It's a trick question on one of my tests that I give people.
He's quizzing me on TV here. This is good.
Yes. Well, what did you expect? You said you're a 19-year-old CFI. I mean, if you hadn't told me that, I wouldn't have done any of this.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, you know, hey. That's pretty impressive to be 19 years old and a CFI.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You know, I didn't even see a computer until I was your age.
Well,
They might have existed, but it was a room full.
yeah.
Slide rule, that's exactly right. I still have my slide rule.
A lot of my students from Arkansas, whenever we're doing all of our flight planning, there's a lot of instructor friends of mine that have electric flight computers, and it hurts my feelings, because my students come to me and they're like, Katie, why don't we use Jason's flight computer? And I'm like, you know what? If you want to learn electrically flight computer, go ask Jason, because we're going to use the paper one.
There you go.
know. That's-
And you know what's going to happen when all the electricity turns off?
Yeah. Or the DPs take the batteries out.
There you go.
That happens too.
Did they do that sometimes?
That happens.
Just for fun, right? Because
Yeah.
you guys want to have fun.
Flying is fun, but most importantly, safe.
There you
That's
go.
what
There you
flying
go. That's why my rule number one is always have a landable terrain within easy gliding distance. And rule number two is the altitude at which you fly is determined by your next available landing spot. Especially on a PPG like this, these are not inspected aircraft. And because they're not inspected, it's FAR 103 rules. You're responsible, the pilot in command is responsible for all the maintenance and things like that. So I'm going to always fly high enough to where if my motor goes out, that I can land. And how do you know when a FAR 103 aircraft engine is going to go out? How do you know?
Just in one of these parachutes.
Yeah, in one of these powered paragliders, how do you know when a FAR 103 aircraft engine is going to quit on you during your flight?
When the big fan stops spinning and the pilot starts
Nope,
spinning.
nope. Any other guesses? Any other guesses? What's that? Close. That's a real close one. When it's running really, really well. When my engine's running really well and I'm thinking to myself, whoa, this thing's running pretty good for an old girl. That's when it's going to quit. And it seems like it happens almost every time. And when I say that, okay, in the last, 15, 16 years, I've had 4 motor outs. But every single time, it's not been an issue. In fact, one time, I had a motor out. I was 1,800 feet over Matlacha. It's a little island between Cape Coral and Pine Island. And I radioed back to the guys. I said, hey, look, I'm going to have a motor out. I'm going to be landing in Matlacha. And they said, you okay? I said, yeah, I'm going to land right here, because as you continue to fly, you're always picking out your potential landing spots. So when your motor goes out, you don't say, look, where am I going to land? See, that's too late. You always have it in mind, especially when a FAR 103 aircraft, because it's not if it's going to go out, it's when it's going to go out. That's the way I teach my guys.
Yeah. One of my favorite things to do as a new CFI is to pull the throttle on my kids, my students, and ask them where they're going to land. Right.
There you go.
you know.
You know, it's funny you say that. My father, he used to fly before he passed, and when on his check, they were on a long runway and they had just taken off, and the instructor did that. He chopped the throttle and said, okay, your motor just quit. What are you going to do?
Right.
And you know what my dad did? He just landed. And the guy said, well, you're supposed to freak out and everything. I said, all this runway's in front of me. So he just landed. And he loved to tell that story. In fact, 2 years ago when we were here, he was here at Sun and Fun. He was telling people that story repeatedly. Of course, he was telling another one that something, because I'm a twin. And he was saying that that me and my twin brother, we were, really something and very unique. But Mom couldn't stand 2 of the same one.
Right.
So I don't know how to take that. But he told that story a lot. Bless you. He told that story a lot. So your dad fly?
He does. He's a pilot examiner.
Oh,
He's a DPE.
oh.
Uh,
So that's how you got into it because Dad flies.
yeah, I like to tell people that my first flight lesson was around 2002, and I was born in 2002. So, you know, so I've been flying for a long time.
Does your plane have autopilot?
It has a VOR, and that's about as fancy as it gets.
Some of the people may have got my reference on that one. So that's excellent. I'm glad you're into aviation. I'm glad that you're teaching others. Your students mostly your age, younger, older? What do you think?
My very first student as a CFI, he hasn't flown since 1984, and so he was a little older.
So y-
But I have students that are 18, 19.
So you're helping them get back into
Yeah.
it. That's great. That's great. So what are your plans for the future? You're young. You've got the whole world in front of you, and you've got some experience in aviation. What are your plans?
So originally, I wanted to have a big flight school and kind of do my own thing, maybe have like a 141 situation. But I think what I'm going to do is work towards getting that 1,500 hours, and then it's kind of open after that, because I don't know what I would go into. Maybe an airline, maybe EMS stuff, different.
So
different
you're out of
options.
high school. Are you going to college?
Not right now. I just became a CFI, but I am considering it because that actually helps with corporate jobs.
Have you thought about Embry-Riddle or any of these other very, very nice flight schools down
Yeah.
here?
I've considered them.
That was a short answer. Considered.
Yep.
That there was nothing more after that.
Well, I live in Arkansas.
Well, that's true. That's true. That's true. Well, I'm very, very happy for you. It sounds like that you've got your life planned out, at least in the short term, and that you've got your head on straight. And remember, the altitude at which you fly is determined by what? Your next available landing spot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
'Cause you never know. You never know. I really appreciate it.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you
you.
very much. I'm
Thank you
glad
so
that you
much.
could go up and fly a powered paraglider today.
That was awesome.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate it.
Take care now.
Thank you.
I need the microphone
There
back.
you
Thank you. There's Katie, everybody. 19-year-old CFI. Absolutely amazing. I'm here to tell you that life is so blessed. I am so blessed. I'm going to show everybody my snickerdoodle. My wife gave me a snickerdoodle cookie. Cookie, 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 cookie. I got my snickerdoodle. I got my snickerdoodle. John is saying for the Megs to come and bring me a straitjacket, I think he's saying. I would love it, Peggy. Oh, she went there?
Can have some too. I have a Pop Tart. Strawberry Pop Tart.
No, I was going to eat it.
Well, there's two.
I'll eat
here.
one. I'll eat one, he one. I'll eat one, he eats one.
That's right. Actually, the kid, he's in here.
presented by Robert Helms from UL Power Aero Engines in LP number 5. And then at 1:30, Galen Gogley from PowerShoot LP 12 will be letting you know everything you need to know about powered parachutes. And they've got those really neat Airwolf trikes they were flying this morning. So those are all there. You could see that over at LP 12. And then at 3 o'clock, Larry Mednick will be here. Larry Mednick from Evolution Aircraft at LP 16. He'll be telling you how to fly a weight shift trike. That's Larry Mednick, LP 12. To me, the one that I really would like everybody to see, though, the one big show, is going to be John Moody tomorrow morning at 10:30, the grandfather of ultralights. Some people call him the father of ultralights, but since he's a great-grandfather, I like to call him at least the grandfather of ultralights. And that's John Moody at 10:30 Friday in the Forum Tent. He'll be presenting the start of ultralights in the United States. Quite the show. We're going to go ahead and video that. We'll see if we can get it broadcast live to everybody at the same time. At 12 o'clock, yours truly, Paul Zarnicki, will be presenting Powered Paragliding. And the title of this one is Powered Paragliding is Real Flying. Because quite honestly, it is real flying. It's a lot better than some of that other stuff, in my humble opinion. At 1:30, Bob Snyder will be back from Auto Gyro LP 25 and how to fly a gyrocopter. And then at 3 o'clock, the technical side of Quicksilver by one of the favorites, Beaver Bourne from AirTech Inc. in booth 19. And I see Scott Rose has just come up, and he's been a nice guy and actually wiping off his feet because the grass has been quite wet and sticky.
Just kicking off the dirt.
I know.
We appreciate it.
So we really appreciate it. And Scott, let me give you a microphone here. You could tell us what's on tap for you and your guys. You said the magic word. You said ground speed.
Ground speed. Yeah. Well, it might not look. You know, I've always been amazed. These airplanes, you look up in the sky, and it looks like they're going really fast. But some of them are not going really fast.
That's right.
It's amazing to me.
In fact, yesterday morning or the other day, I can't tell you which day it was now actually, but I turned on the base leg and the wind was coming from the north and my ground speed went down to about 2 or 3 miles an hour. So the wind at that altitude, probably 300-400 feet at the most, was already blowing 15-18 miles an hour.
Stall?
No. My ground speed went down. The wing was still happy with that 20-mile-an-hour airspeed.
Ooh. I just don't know about putting something Mylar above me and just saying, hey, we're going up in the air today. I don't know.
What's your underwear made out of, Scott?
Cotton. Under Armour.
There you go, Under Armour. Well, I just had to ask because sometimes, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah. We won't talk about that this morning, Paul. This afternoon session we can talk about that.
no, I understand that.
Yeah.
So, what does Alto North America have in store for the rest of the show here? You gonna
Well,
do some more demos and things?
I
like to
think so,
We got slimed
yeah.
yesterday by the 912 TG.
I had a talk with Slimer.
Yes. What's
I-
Slimer say?
We won't tell. I will not tell you what Slimer said because it wouldn't be good for the millions of viewers. But Slimer said he's going to do what he wants to do today. That's exactly what Slimer said.
Are you saying that finger may slip onto that smoke discharge button? Possibly.
Accidentally.
Accidentally.
Yes, accidentally.
Yeah, your cup fell off the dashboard and hit the button, right?
You know, everybody tells me not to drink coffee and try to fly an airplane.
Things happen.
Yeah. The hula girl, though, you know,
Oh.
she talks to me too.
There you you got a hula girl on there?
I do.
Do you really?
I have one sitting right down on the center console where the brake and the trim is.
Excellent.
The hula girl pushes the trim for me.
There you go.
The mental telepathy.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
nice. You know what we're going to have to do for the next time you fly is play a snippet of the Ghostbusters theme song.
I have that for you.
Do you have it on a memory stick that I can put it on and play it?
You're asking a lot.
I am asking a lot.
Go to my.
I'm
going to
needy
tell you
guy,
what.
Scott. I'm
going to
needy
tell
guy.
you what. You have YouTube.
Yes.
Can you play the Ghostbusters theme through your PA system and to the millions of viewers?
Yes. It's difficult to actually get into something like that when we're doing everything else. It's a lot better to have it. For example, I've got all these interviews and other songs and things. I just push a button that way. I'm a simple guy from Tennessee. I push a button.
I'm a simple guy from Plant City, Florida, and I push many buttons. And I
I'll
won't
bet
talk
you
about
do.
the keyboard buttons
I'll
either.
bet you do. I bet you push everybody's buttons.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
But I'm going to tell you, I've got a YouTube channel.
You do.
I do. Alto North America LLC on YouTube.
There you go. Alto North America, LLC on YouTube. You know what the kids
Absolutely.
did for us yesterday here? They set up an Instagram for me.
You hadn't done
I
that
had to ask
already?
what it was. I had no idea what Instagram was.
Do you know what YouTube is?
Yes.
Okay. How about Twitter?
I do not tweet. I'm tweetless. I do not tweet. I'm tweetless. But to be honest with you, it's funny. When that first started, one of my friends set up a Planet PBG Twitter account.
Twitter,
But I've never used it.
Tango Whiskey, Indigo, Tango, Echo Romeo.
Now you're just showing off.
Yes, I am.
For
Bet
those
you can't do it.
For those phonetically challenged individuals, he just spelled Twitter.
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 Oh, we can spell tweet too. And
I
it's
can't do it.
no,
You
it's
want me-
not
you want me to do
Tweety
it?
Bird.
You want me to do it? Tweet, tweet.
There you go,
I just
Paul.
did it.
There you
I
go.
just did it. Well, I tell you what, I'm feeling good this morning. I had my cup of tea. I did 3 or 4 tandems. I'd have to look back and see how many tandems it was. I guess it was 4.
How did that young lady like her little demonstration?
She was all a Twitter.
I think she was tweeting, not twittering.
No, she was actually twittering. It was so funny, and I was telling the story a little while ago. Before we started the engine, the whole aircraft was shaking. And I thought, well, maybe my prop is out of balance. That's how hard it was shaking. And come to find out, it was her shaking before I even started the engine.
Well, it's a metal frame.
That's true.
She was shaking that bad?
It's on very soft rubber tires. It was amazing how hard she was shaking.
Oh, that's right. And then you asked me to go up in that thing.
Well, of course.
I
have to
willfully
I have to
denied
have
that request
somebody
this morning.
check out the ejection seat. I mean, if you've got the Slimer where you can puff smoke all down the runway,
Absolutely.
I think it would be only appropriate to test the ejection seat with you.
No parachute?
Well, that's optional.
Optional.
That's an option.
And let me guess, I have to bring my own.
Well, I was going to charge you for it. And, of course, there's a repack fee.
Typical aviator. Typical
I'm
aviator.
talking like a true salesman now. Even though I'm an
Absolutely.
engineer, I am not a salesman.
Well, here at Alto North America, we aren't salesmen.
You're not?
No, I'm not a salesman. I'm just telling you what you want.
Oh, is that how it
See
goes?
how that works?
I do. So what do I want? What do I want in a 912 TG?
Everything possible. And then
Leather-
write me a
leather
big
seats?
fat check when I'm done talking to you.
Leather seats,
I can do leather seats.
lumbar support,
Optional.
heated seats. Because I'm 60 something and I got tired bones, so heated seats would be good, right, Donna?
You know what? I'll put an extra 12-volt thing in yours, the little plug.
12-volt Huber Juber?
Absolutely. Yes, a Huber Juber.
Yes, that's an optional item. 12-volt
And-
Huber Juber.
And we'll put a heating element under your bottom
Just for me.
just for you. Now, if you want air conditioning, we can just cut a hole.
Open one of those vents like you do on the
Oh,
motorcycles.
we can put a vent in the bottom of the seat.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the longest flight you've taken on that 912 TG? It's a beautiful aircraft. I know we're messing around about it, but in reality, everybody needs to get over to Alto North America.
Let me tell you, I flew from Searcy, Arkansas, down to Tampa Executive Airport. Hey, we got what is that?
That's Rand
Rands.
getting ready to go in the
yeah.
Pipistrel
Pipistrel.
Cirrus SW.
Yeah. Beautiful looking airplane.
Absolutely, and it's got those glider-like design to it. It's very sleek, very elegant, low power, high speed, very
But
maneuverable.
from what I understand, open your checkbook if you want something that nice.
Yes, in fact, I do have the price for that here. If I remember correctly, I think it starts at 125,000.
125.
Yeah, 125 is
Yep.
my memory. But of course, I'm slow on those things, and Donna remembers these things much better than I do.
Well, maybe she should be up here talking to you.
Well, she's smart. She doesn't want to talk on the microphone, but she whispers in my ear frequently.
Well, that's always a good thing in certain situations.
Hey, hey! So this is the Pipistrel Virus SW, and it is the fastest high-wing cruiser. The Virus SW is the most economical high-speed cruiser and definitely the fastest high-wing aircraft family in its category.
And we missed Jeremy from Bushcat. He just took off in his
Jeremy
leopard.
Knoll?
Yeah.
Did I miss him?
You missed him.
Brian is flying or Jerry's flying.
Yeah, it could be either Brian Carlos flying that or Jeremy Knoll. We'll have to look. I missed. I
We'll
didn't
take
see it.
just take a pick this morning, Paul.
I'm going to go with Jeremy Knoll because Brian Carlos flew it all day yesterday.
They're taking turns. They're playing nice in the
I
sandbox.
would hope so.
Yeah,
I'm not going to let
yeah.
everybody fly my machine the whole time.
Well, that's no fun. You're paying the bills. They just want to fly.
Well, that's why I would fly too.
Oh,
Makes
sounds
sense,
good.
right?
Sounds good. Absolutely.
Okay, let's get back to that Alto North 912 TG. You said
Right.
how long? You flew from Arkansas.
Arkansas,
Was that
Searcy,
Squaw,
Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Searcy, Arkansas.
Searcy, Arkansas.
Yeah. I think it was about 800 nautical miles. And I'm going to tell you, I've flown and ridden in many LSAs. That is comfortable.
Very comfortable.
Very comfortable.
Now, I understand the cockpit is 48 inches wide.
48 inches wide.
See, that's pretty good. And I'm a big guy. I'm 6'3". I only weigh about, 190, 200 pounds.
You're under usable load, so yeah.
What is the usable load?
425 pounds usable.
25.
Yes, full of fuel.
Full of fuel. And
26 gallons of fuel.
26 gallons of fuel. And what's your burn rate?
4.5 an hour.
4.5 an hour.
Yeah, at 5,200 revolutions per minute.
At 52.
At 52.
But like you said, that's about 107 knots, isn't it?
About 107, yeah.
That's moving.
This is what I tell people. It's a 110 knot airplane.
Yep.
Good conditions, perfect weather, no headwind. You can leave the tailwind out because it just goes faster with the tailwind.
Yep, that ground speed picks up.
Absolutely.
Plus the tailwind, right?
Absolutely.
So, 800 nautical miles, so you stopped once for fuel
Once for fuel.
and get some coffee?
Things were closed. It was at night.
Oh, where'd you stop?
We stopped in Selma, Alabama.
Selma, Alabama.
Cheap fuel, you know.
Cheap, see, that doesn't surprise me now. So you probably looked on that app that looks for the cheapest avgas,
Flight.
Flight, the cheapest avgas.
Cheapest avgas.
Selma, Alabama was the winner this time.
Yeah. 10 cents, could hurt the pocket every once in
It
a while.
could, especially
Absolutely.
in today's economy.
Absolutely. Aeroshell.
Aeroshell putting on a show for us already. They're practicing over on the big side.
Yes, they are.
Did you get to see the night show last night? That was quite the spectacle.
I did. I was very impressed with the drones.
We were too. We sat right here. We had dinner here. Donna made us a wonderful barbecue dinner. We sat right here and watched the whole perfect view. I thought it was cool when they made the American flag and
Yes.
it transitioned into the jet fighter.
Yes, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
What viewpoint did you have of the show?
My house.
So you didn't see it.
I did. I live right at the end of this runway.
Oh, so you're in your camper.
No, I'm in my home.
Well, tell us about
I
it.
live here in Lakeland, Florida.
So when did you start doing that?
About a year and a half ago.
Year and a half ago. So
Yep.
you actually have a camper over there? You
No, I have a home.
said? A home.
Yes, it's got 4 walls, and it's much bigger than a camper or a bus.
Let me guess. No wheels.
Optional.
It's another optional. It looks like Jeremy Knoll is coming back in the Bushcat, by the way. He's on final.
Yeah, there he is.
Jeremy Knoll.
I've got a cement pond and a bird cage in
I
the
love
back
a
of it.
cement pond.
I do
wait
too.
A minute, wait a minute. You really have a cement pond?
I really have a cement pond.
Can Donna and I come swim in your cement pond?
Anytime, Paul.
For real?
Anytime. Absolutely.
Is it warm or is it cold?
Warm is optional.
All right, so Donna's asking, how many bedrooms do you have?
Enough.
Jeremy Knoll landing in the Bushcat. That's that beautiful paint job Bushcat by Skyreach. Jeremy Knoll in the Bushcat. That's LP22. But I got to preface that it could be Brian Carlos that's actually flying. I don't know for sure. We see Rand over here in these. Rand playing the Virus SW, Pipistrel Virus SW, getting ready to take off, rolling faster, just rotated, front wheel is off, and he's off the ground in that absolutely gorgeous Bristol Virus SW, I think. And the question is that a Jabiru engine? It sounds like it. Let's check that out. It says here it's a Rotex 912 or a UL or a ULS. But you know what? They can put different engines in there.
I believe so, yeah.
We should ask me. You know, it did sound like a Jabiru, didn't it?
It did sound like a Jabiru.
Yeah.
Now, with the Alto, I've got the 912 ULS. We can also put the 914 in it.
Ah.
And then this year, we have been promised that they are modifying the engine mount and everything like that, and they're going to start offering the fuel-injected model.
The IS.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
By the end of 2021, they are going to be
All right, so let me ask
offering
you that.
the
That's
IS.
an optional item on your checklist.
Absolutely.
So what's the price for that option?
It adds about $5,000 to $6,000.
But a lot of folks do believe the fuel injection's worth it.
Speculations, but yeah, a lot of people do like that fuel injected engine, and it does take the burn rate up a little higher.
It does. Jeremy Knoll in the Bushcat by Skyreach. He came around and landed, and he's taken off again.
We got a C-Max just pushing out, Paul.
We do. That C-Max, I believe, is flythebeach.com. Donna, is that a flythebeach.com C-Max? So flythebeach.com, they offer rides by the hour out on the east coast of Florida. They're flying a C-Max and instruction as well. They've got 3 different amphibs that they have available for folks to come out and check it out. They've got that beautiful bubble canopy in the C-Max.
Drink some more coffee.
I don't drink coffee. That's part of the problem.
Oh, okay.
I don't drink coffee, don't eat chocolate. Here it is right here, Fly the Beach. My lovely assistant Donna gave me the information. Flythebeach.com. It's seaplane intro flights, 850-290-2261. The pilot will even let you take a turn flying the airplane. That's flythebeach.com, and that's Rose and Ryan Gore. Rose and Ryan Gore, and they have seaplane endorsements, sport pilot training, and they run, I think, Vero Beach. They're definitely on the east coast of Florida. 850-290-2261, and that's flythebeach.com. Flythebeach.com. Real nice folks, and they are right off of the main road in Paradise City, down almost by the Christian missionary tent. Very, very nice C-Max aircraft. I have a buddy, Russ Miley, flies those all the time, and I was curious to see if Russ is around him. I haven't seen him this year yet.
You know, I'd love to have an experience just to try to land on water. I've never done it, and it's just not natural. They say the first time you do it, it's like you wouldn't think that you would land on water flying an airplane.
A little scary.
Little bit.
Scary. Typically, if you're landing on water in an airplane, you think you might be Captain Sully.
Or ditching. Yeah.
Yeah,
One of
Captain
those.
Sully.
Yep, Captain Sully. Sullenberger. Sullenberger.
Sully Sullenberger, that's it. Well,
You know,
we're not
he
going
was-
to have any of that today.
No, we won't. We won't talk about that.
I like having landable terrain within easy gliding distance, but with that, you have quite a bit of landing places there, don't you?
Well, land or water. You know, they say you can take this out in the middle of the Gulf or a lake and just cast your fishing pole, and when you're done, start the propeller and take off.
That's pretty neat. That is definitely pretty neat. I think that if I was flying that around and landing, I would feel like James Bond or something.
Kind of looks like something James Bond would have, doesn't it?
It does.
But I bet you it's a very sleek airplane, and it looks like a very sleek airplane.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Q, where's Q when you need him, right?
I know.
Q's the fellow that gave the gadgets out?
Yes. Go Gadget C-Max?
Go Gadget C-Max.
Yeah.
There you go. Flythebeach.com. Flythebeach.com. Please check them out. They're another one of the fabulous exhibitors here that we have at Paradise City. Sun and Fun 21.
Paul, didn't you say we were live streaming somewhere?
We are actually live streaming. Thank you for asking. We are live streaming on Florida Drone Supply channel
Wow. Drone Supply.
and Paul Zarnicki.
Paul Zarnicki. We should say hello to everybody, Paul.
Hello.
Hello? Can you hear us?
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Hi, wife.
It is now 9:25. Do you know where your children are? It's now 9:25. Do you know where your children are?
Watching us on YouTube?
Watching us on YouTube. Have a great time here at Paradise City.
Absolutely.
I bet everybody's excited about seeing the Blue Angels today.
Oh, that's right. The Blue Angels are coming today.
And in fact, they
Yeah.
should be making their arrival here in about 40 minutes. The Blue Angels will be coming in.
That's right.
If you want to find the live stream, you can do a search on Sun and Fun and then a space and then Paradise. You'll see the live stream channels come up. And that's Florida Drone Supply is one, or Paul Zarnicki. That's CZARNECKI. Say it, Scott.
Nope.
I'm going to cover my name tag. I covered my name tag real quick before he could say it.
Quick. Move over, Donna. There you go. I can say it phonetically for you.
Is it? They're saying our hard line is down right now, but we're still on Wi-Fi until Rob turns off his card. That's right. So that's Brian Carlos just landing again.
Is that
And-
Brian?
Yep, we've been told.
Oh,
High Command has informed us that it is Brian Carlos that's flying that Bush Cat.
that's right. High command only knows low command's just still sitting in the chair.
Well, Donna is my High Command.
Oh, right,
And
right.
she got the word already
Absolutely.
that it was Brian Carlos.
Okay, well, Brian Carlos is doing
Carlo.
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 I can't wait to see this fly. I have not seen a C-Max fly.
You haven't?
No, I haven't.
Russ Miley used to bring one in all the time to Pine Island Airport, and he would fly Sanibel, Captiva, North Captiva, those Lee Islands over there in the southwest. It's a beautiful aircraft. Brian Carlo in the Bush Cat, very distinctly painted. What do you think?
You know, that's one thing I wanted to talk to you about today.
What's that?
That green paint on Slimer.
Yes, on that
It
912
goes along.
PG.
It goes along with the zebra print,
It does.
or overseas zebra.
Zebra,
Zebra.
if you're from down under.
Yes.
So, can you get fancy paint jobs on those Alto North America
Absolutely, I can.
912
Absolutely.
TVs?
They're just starting to do the metallic paint and the fluorescent paint.
Whoa. It glows in the dark?
I'm sure it's possible.
Hey, now that would be cool.
That would be
Everybody
cool.
you'd fly around, and other than the blinky lights, they think you're a UFO.
I tried not to get any blinky lights, but the FAA requires it, you know.
They do want those strobe lights to be visible for at least 3 nautical miles. You're flying at night.
If you're flying at night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we won't talk about cargo
oh, I
issues.
see what he's saying. Oh, that's
I
right,
just
missed it
got.
totally.
Hi, John. How are you today? Why do you have to be old? You could be young. You're young at heart. You're here at Son of Fun 2021.
I got to give a shout out for John Thompson here. He's been our right-hand man. He has made things possible here in the media center. John Thompson from DeLand, Florida, comes out here, spends his week working hard every single day. In fact, we came out early. John Thompson was here working, and we really want to thank him specifically for his hard work. He's laughing right now. It really is a lot of hard work, and we really appreciate that.
Until he sends you to the wrong booth.
He's not going to send you to the wrong booth. Why would he do that?
Wrong setup location. 26 and 27. He missed the two,
Well,
Paul.
he
missed
actually,
the
he
two.
was helping out another chairman's job because they hadn't arrived yet. So our job, it really is the media and information dissemination.
Yeah.
The folks that are in charge of the booths and the location of the booths and the exhibitors, that's somebody different.
Well, Paul, let me tell you, I have no hard feelings.
Hold on just a second. It looks to me like that is the Cavalon taking off.
Yes, that is the other one.
Auto gyro. That's the Kalitas. I'm sorry. That's the Kalitas, the orange Kalitas. Auto gyro in booth 25. That is the Kalitas. Looks like maybe too much weight. He aborted the launch. Or maybe it was something else. It may not. He wouldn't have put somebody too heavy in. I'm sure that there was a reason. They aborted the launch. They got 3/4 down the runway, and any good pilot is going to shut down that takeoff roll if they're not happy. Remember, if you can't take off and clear and make a nice, safe turn at the end of the runway, don't take off.
That brings up a good point.
Hold on just a sec before you
Yep,
tell us.
go
that.
ahead. Go
This
ahead.
is the Aerolite 103 Firestar. And we got Sam Peachy. Sam Peachy flying again. Sam Peachy was tearing it up yesterday, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. I standing over at my booth and just wow.
Round and
all
round. In
oh
the,
yeah, round
in
and round
the
you go.
Alf 1.
Yeah, round and round you go. Where you stop, nobody knows.
Nobody knows. So what
That's
were you
right.
going to tell me real quick, Scott?
You know, for pilot safety, you know, some people, they want to get that perfect landing or they bounce. But when I was learning to fly, the first thing my instructor said, when in doubt, go around.
And if you're running out of runway, shut it down before you reach the end of the runway.
Yeah, you don't want to prop strike.
You don't want a pride strike. You don't want to do anything. What
Nope.
what they did right there in that Kalitas was very, very smart. If you're going to take off and it just doesn't feel right or something's going on,
Absolutely.
we've got significant amount of a rotor off of the trees today. Any south component here at Paradise City is going to give you some rotor over these very tall trees that are on the south side of the runway, Scott.
Yeah, yep. I was talking to Dennis Long, and he was saying it's rocking you around, it looks like,
Yep.
with those rotors off those trees.
That's exactly right. We filmed quite a bit this morning when we were doing our powered paragliders and the powered parachutes, as well as John Moody and his Easy Riser. Just a reminder, everyone, John Moody has got his forum at 10:30 tomorrow in the forum's tent. That's John Moody, the father of ultralights here in the United States of America. He will be having this forum, showing little video clips and telling lots of really good stories about how ultralight started here in the United States. And it looks like the M Squared is pulling the Breeze 2 to the starting line as well.
Yep, that is a breeze, too.
Yep, and the Breeze 2 M Squared M squared is going to be in booth 23. That's LP 23. That's M squared in booth 23. And that Breeze 2 is another very, very small, lightweight aircraft, a totally different aircraft than your 912 TG, isn't it?
Yep. Different weight, let me tell you. 643 pounds dry. 720 wet.
That's yours.
That's mine. That's maybe what, 200 or 300 pounds?
I was going to say maybe 300 pounds.
I was going to say 200-300 pounds.
Maybe.
But everybody's going up in the air. I'm jealous. I think I'm going to have to do that, Paul.
I think you should.
I'm going to.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I really appreciate you coming out and talking with us today about
Absolutely.
Alto North America, the options they have on their beautiful machines,
Absolutely.
and the 912 TG, which really, guys, you got to get over there and look at it. It's a very, very nice aircraft.
Well, Paul, thank you very much for having me, and we'll do this again soon.
Excellent, and make sure we get that Ghostbuster theme song, all right? All right. There's the C-Max firing up. That's an amphibian, beautiful amphibian you see right here, right in front of the media center at the cutout, the center cutout. C-Max aircraft. They're with flythebeach.com. Flythebeach.com. There's Sam Peachy in the Alf Force 1. That's the Kolb Firefly. They're in booth 44. That's Donnie Lawmeyer running up and talking to Sam Peachy there, see what's going on. He's probably got a question. Or he's probably letting him know that the Blue Angels should be coming in at any moment And when the Blue Angels get to the airspace, we're going to have to stand down. They don't want any other aircraft in there. There's Sam Peachy, everybody. Hey, Sam Peachy in the Alf Force One. Apparently, they must be coming close. He's going to have him wait just a minute. I think what we're going to do is we're going to talk to Sam and see what Sam's saying here. He's been flying a whole bunch. There's Brian Carla. Brian Carla flying the Bush Cat. So, Sam, how you doing?
I'm doing real good. I'm doing good. Every time I get a chance to fly, I'm doing good.
You know what? You've been flying a lot, and we've been talking, everybody, about the Al Force One. And the first day, I thought you got a promotion and that you are no presidente.
I usually try to fly anything I can grab a hold of. It's a privilege.
It is. We are blessed to be able to do this. So I've been talking about this beautiful Kolb Firefly, and it's a FAR 103 vehicle.
That's correct.
And 5 gallons of gas, must fly in daylight, one person at a time. So what can you tell us about this beautiful aircraft? It's just very, very nice FAR 103.
It flies very nice. I have 4 Firestar 2s and an Ultra Star, and I really like the Kolbs.
Yeah, the Kolbs are nice. Now, this is the Firefly because it's a FAR 103, and the Firestar is bigger. What's that about?
The Firestar has 2 seats, front and back, and I have the 503, which is 52 horsepower. My daughter used to fly that at Oshkosh quite a bit.
And what's the horsepower on this one?
This, I believe, is 40.
40 horse.
42, I'm not sure.
So that's the C-Max pulling out. That's the noise you hear. That's the C-Max. In fact, if we stand right over here a little bit, Sam. I want you to stand over here a little bit. So there you go, right here. That way, not only you, but your aircraft. See the cameras? Sam Peachy. We're talking with Sam Peachy from Kolb here in booth 44. That's where you have the other aircraft. But Sam just landed in Al Force One. He's been tearing it up. He's been flying quite a bit yesterday, day before, and now today. So you were just starting to tell us about the larger aircraft. This is the FAR 103 Firefly, and you've got the Firestar. So tell us about that.
Well, the Firestar is heavier. Of course, it's an experimental, and it's a front and back, a seat front and back, and it's nice to give rides, grandchildren. We have 21 grandchildren, and they all enjoy flying, so I put them in the back seat and go flying.
21 grandchildren. How many kids did you have?
6.
Wow.
4 girls and 2 boys, and 2 of the girls have their license, and the youngest son is getting his license.
And how old are the grandkids?
Oh, the age from 18 to 6 months.
Are any of them flying yet?
No, not yet. The 10-year-old would like to solo in a Fisher this summer, so we'll see what happens.
Oh, that'd be nice. So what other aircraft do you have over at your booth, at Kolb booth, LP44?
I don't have any of my own here right now, but I'm planning on taking one to Oshkosh, or maybe 2 to Oshkosh this fall.
So will you be flying the Firestar? I haven't seen that out.
Yes, I'll be flying the Firestar then at Oshkosh, but I don't have it with me here.
Oh, so you've got the Al Force One, the FAR 103 vehicle here.
Yes, I'm flying that for someone else.
Oh, you are? Oh.
Yeah, that's Al's.
That's Al's.
Yes.
Oh, I saw you in it all the time, and I just assumed it was yours.
No.
Sam Peachy. He's getting over. He's getting to fly somebody else's machine. That's always nice. That's always nice. Well, I hope you have a good show here, Sam.
Thank you.
And that's Kolb Aircraft in booth LP44, and he's been showing off the Al Force One, which is the Kolb Firestar FAR 103 vehicle.
That's correct.
Thank you very much, Sam. You take care and have fun. All right? So the Blue Angels should be coming in any moment. When they do, they're going to make everybody stand down. There won't not be any aircraft in the sky for the Blue Angels' arrival. And as you know, when the Blue Angels arrive, they usually do it in grand style. They don't just come in and boat it in. They usually do a little something on the way. So we'll see what they do. This is Rand with the Pipistrel Virus SW. Pipistrel Virus SW, very, very sleek, high wing, very, very fast, very, very efficient. And then Brian Carlo just landing in the Bushcat, that distinctive paint job Bushcat, Skyreach Bushcat, made in South Africa. Yep, had a nice discussion with Sam Peachy there. Sam Peachy, Kolb Aircraft, LP-44. I know a lot of folks aren't always wanting to talk on the microphone. John's over here shaking his head. We've just been informed that the internet connection that we have is going to be fixed here momentarily. We've been running our web cameras off of a lower stream Wi-Fi from a cradle point. I know a lot of folks don't really know what that means. That's Donald Reese that just landed in the Echelot Topaz. Echelot Topaz, beautiful aircraft. Echelot Topaz in LP number 2, LP number 2. That's Donald Reese. There's the C-Max taking off. Probably heading out to some nice water somewhere or just a little ride. And we see Sam Peachy pulling down to the end of the runway again, pointing into the wind. He'll be taking off. That's Sam Peachy, Kolb Firestar, booth 44. As that Topaz taxis down to the start of the runway again. There's Sam Peachy, Firestar. Hands free. Look, Mom, no hands. Look, Mom, no hands. He actually took his hands off the stick. That aircraft is so stable. You notice he didn't do that until he got above the trees. We've got some significant rotor from those trees this morning when I was flying. And it was flying with John Moody, the pilot of the Easy Riser, the father of ultralights. This is Brian Carlo. Brian Carlo in the Bushcat. You gotta love the paint job. Looks like a zebra. That's a South African manufactured aircraft. And that is the Bushcat, Skyreach Bushcat. They're in LP-22, and LP-22, you can get that particular aircraft as a tail dragger, as an amphib, just like the Sea Ray you saw a moment ago. And these are very, very capable outback country aircraft, and they offer you all you need to get into the bush and back out. For a weekend getaway or extended stay in the bush, the Bushcat will exceed your requirements and expectations. And that's available as a kit or factory built. And yes, if you want the zebra paint, you could do that too.
Sign in to confirm your age.
Are you signing as me? Yeah, Skyreach is in Springs Airfield, east of Johannesburg. Every time I think about South Africa and all that, I think about the National Geographic things we used to see when we were kids. You don't see that much anymore, but I remember when we used to get the National Geographic, and I have to admit that a number of them that we used to look at were black and white still. And then they went to the color National Geographic, and my twin brother and I were quite surprised. But anyway, Skyreach Bushcat, LP-22. And it is A very, very capable Outback machine. I'm surprised they're not doing the Stoll demonstration because that vehicle, that aircraft, could do very well in there. We saw a lot of just aircraft, the Super Stolls, some 182s. That's the Autogyro Cavalon, the lime green. They're in LP25. Autogyro by Cavalon. Really, really nice machine. And they are accepting orders now for the Cavalon with the Rotex 915IS fuel-injected engine. And it's a real masterpiece of design with its side-by-side setup. And it presents the pilot and passenger in comfort. It's got a huge tank volume. You can fly a long distance, and it's got individually adjusted pedals and seat. Ask him to find it for you. We're going to ask the kid here to set us up on the computer. I've realized at my age of over 60 that the kids, basically anybody under 30, can figure this computer stuff out a lot easier than I can, even though I designed cellular telephone systems back in the day. I'm lost. I went to sleep, I woke up, and 30 years had passed, John. 30 years had passed. It looks to me that we see the Brian Carlo landing in the Bush Cat again. That was a quick trip. Brian Carlo in the Bush Cat. And I was just starting to tell you about that Autogyro, but I do see Rand Fulmer in the Pipistrel Virus SW right there, getting ready to take off again. The Pipistrel Virus SW is Czech Republic. And they're in booth 4, if anybody's interested and want to check them out. And the Virus is one of the most advanced and affordable two-seat EASA type certified aircraft in the category. Robust performance, field proven. It's the official trainer of the Indian Air Force, Navy, and NCC. The Virus SW 121 is the result of over 20 years' experience in designing energy-efficient motorplanes that follow the glider philosophy. There's Sam Peachy coming in again. Sam Peachy in the Firestar, which is a Kolb creation. And I didn't know it, but that's not his aircraft. He's flying it for someone else. But Sam just loves to fly. Hey, Sam Peachy. Hey, hey. Personally, I would love to fly that aircraft. I don't think they would let me do it, but I would love to do it. You don't just hand the keys to your car or your airplane to anybody. I'd have to think about it. Brian Carlo again. In the Bush Cat. Getting back to the Pipistrel Virus SW. It is also an EASA type certified aircraft. It's got no restrictions. And it's also the first aircraft in history to be type certified with 3D printed parts. That's right, 3D printed parts. The manufacturing technology has come a long way. By combining the capability typically obtained from several aircraft into a single one, they drastically lower the purchase price and initial cost of a training fleet. Remember, the Indian Air Force uses this as one of their trainers. That's the Pipistrel Virus SW. Over in the distance, we can see the Autogyro Cavalon, the neon green one, going west. Looks like he's getting ready to turn right, which would put him on the base leg. The Autogyro Cavalon from the bottom to the top. Every wish is fulfilled with the Autogyro Cavalon. Individually adjusted seats and pedals. So you can be real tall, be real short, and still be very, very comfortable in the Autogyro Cavalon. For those that you don't know, the top rotor is not spinning under power. It only spins and rotates because of the forward movement of the gyro. So the propeller you see in the back is pushing them forward, which causes that top rotor to spin. With all of these gyrocopters, there's a pre-rotational gear, basically, where they can get that to spin. Pulling out is the M Squared Breeze 2. That's the M Squared Breeze 2. M Squared Breeze 2, that's another little nice one. I tell you what, it's really pretty. Blue and neon green. Side-by-side seating. And M Squared is in booth 23. That's LP 23. They're right behind the headquarters tent. And that is the Breeze 2. And that is certified SLSA or experimental ELSA configuration. And it's a single or double surface high wing side-by-side two-place aircraft with a maximum takeoff weight of 1,430 pounds. Yes, you heard that right, 1,430 pounds with floats. The wings are aerodynamically strut braced with a multiple tube braced tail. The landing gear is a tricycle arrangement with a steerable nose wheel. M Squared is from Mobile, Alabama. And did you know that M Squared has been building SLSA aircraft since 2008? Well, they have. 2008. In the distance, we see on final the Autogyro Cavalon. Autogyro Cavalon LP25. That Cavalon is one slick-looking bird, I'll tell you what. I haven't even done it. We can do it, though. I'll put it in. You want to do it? I've got, push it in all the way. If you go to, go up. And then, so just make it direct with pictures. I haven't done anything yet. The Autogyro Cavalon, I don't have the specs on how fast it goes, but it does have either the 912U LS or the 914 Turbo. That's 115 horsepower. The Cavalon starts at $125,000. That's for the kit. If you want them to build it up for you, it's just $10,000 more. Really, really nice. My guess is they're going to fly about 100 miles an hour. I'd have to get the spec on that. I've never been in an Autogyro, but it sure looks like it'd be a lot of fun to fly. I'm sure you'll agree. Looks like it'd be a lot of fun. Brian Carlo coming by again. Brian Carlo in the Bushcat. The kids and the adults alike love that paint job. It sure does make it distinctive. I'd have to say, in the show, that's probably the most distinctive paint job of any aircraft out here. And I see Magni Gyro, I believe, is pulling their Orion out. John, can you do me a favor and make sure? I believe that is the Magni Gyro Orion. It should say Orion right on the side of it. You can check it out. Yeah, the yellow one. If you want to take the card, you can. If you want. It looks like we've got the Magni Gyro Orion down at the west end over there. If it does get ready to launch, I will let you know. Another beautiful auto gyro. Excuse me, I shouldn't call it an auto. That's a Magni Gyro. You've got Auto Gyro and Magni Gyro, two different manufacturers here with gyrocopters. Beautiful. The Orion is an M24, and that is enclosed side-by-side two-seat dual control. And it is the Magni M24 is the first enclosed side-by-side two-seat factory-built gyroplane fully approved under BCAR Section T in the UK. Orion 24 is equipped with 3 easily accessible baggage compartments, and with an 82-liter capacity fuel tank, you could fly for about 4 hours. I've been just asked again what the schedule is. The schedule for today's flying, this morning at 7:15 to 9 o'clock, we had the powered paragliders, powered parachutes, and John Moody in his Easy Riser. At 9 o'clock to 11:45 today, it's the general flying, the fixed wing. We will be standing down for the Blue Angels arrival. When they come in, we'll have to shut it down for a little bit. And then at 12 o'clock, we'll be closed for the air show, and that's right, that's the Blue Angels and a bunch of other really, really nice aircraft that's going to be on the big side. And that is the Breeze 2, that's M squared Breeze 2 taking off right there, or just landing, I guess he just landed. The Breeze 2. At 6 o'clock today will be the Stoll demo. The Stoll demo from 6 o'clock till 6:45, the short takeoff and landing demonstration right here at Paradise City. And then after that, 6:45 will be the powered paragliders and powered parachutes, unless we give the time back to the Stoll folks. There were so many people out last night having such a good time with the short takeoff landing demonstration that the powered paraglider guys decided they'd give the time back and let the Stoll competition continue. So there you have it. That is the flying schedule for today. So we think the Blue Angels will be arriving at about 11 o'clock. When that happens, everybody will land and we'll shut it down till then. That's the M Squared Breeze 2. M Squared Breeze 2 just taking off. M Squared Breeze 2. M Squared's in booth 23. M Squared Breeze 2. And you'll find M Squared right behind the Forums tent, just to the west side of the Forums tent. M Squared Breeze 2. And that's a single surface or dual surface high wing side by side. It is in Orion. Good. So that Magni Gyro Orion, the yellow gyrocopter down at the end over there, we were thinking he might come around and take off. He's still down there in the cutout, so maybe they're getting a passenger or something. We'll see what they're going to do. But that's another gyrocopter that's absolutely gorgeous and with bright orange. Here's the C-Max coming by. The C-Max, he just turned on to final, and that's flythebeach.com. 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 That's seaplanes and intro flights. 850-290-2261. The pilot may even let you take a turn flying the aircraft. And that's Rose and Ryan Gore. Rose and Ryan Gore. Very nice people. They run flythebeach.com, and that's seaplanes intro flights, seaplane endorsements, and sport pilot training on the east coast of Florida. And that's 850-290-2261, flythebeach.com. And let me see what booth they're in. They're in booth 38. That's booth 38. They're right down over on the side if you'd like to go see them. It's in there. Thank you, baby. This is the Pipistrel Virus SW. Pipistrel Virus SW. The Pipistrel Virus SW is a very sleek aircraft, high wing. That's another blades over M Squared Breeze 2. That's the M Squared Breeze 2 landing there. M Squared Breeze 2. Beautiful aircraft. Very, very small, very lightweight, side-by-side seating. So I just got handed the flight schedule. They have the Blue Angels and F-18s going to be flying begin at 12 o'clock and run to 1 o'clock. And then they have some more Blue Angels going to be flying from 5 after 1 for a whole hour to 2:05. And then the Amazon Arrival is coming in, so they'll stand down for that. And then Greg Kuntz will be flying at DeKalb, and that'll be, after that will be Aeroshell, and then Warbirds, and then the Blue Angels again. And here we see Rand Fulmer in the Pipistrel Virus SW. Blades over me. Flightline Tours, everybody. Everybody say hi to the Flightline Tours. You can jump on that and cruise around and see all of Sun and Fun from the comfort of a nice easy chair, well, in that case, a bench, at about 5 miles an hour. And it doesn't cost a penny, does it, Steve?
It does not.
Does not cost a penny to see it all. Okay, so we have Richard Lanning in this beautiful gyrocopter right in front of us, and that's an AG 915, AG 915.
Who makes that? Can you go ask him, stick your head in the door?
So they're with Gyrocopter Flight Training in LP30, also known as Blades Over Me, from the Sebastian Municipal Airport there in South Florida. Blades Over Me is a group of professionals providing gyroplane training, sales, and aerial services based all over the Treasure Coast of Florida. You can call them at 772-217-3494. All right, and that was the Orion, the Magni Gyro Orion that just took off. Very, very sleek. Again, another fast gyro. That is really something. I will. Magni Gyro Orion. Magni Gyro is in booth LP10. Booth LP10. Magni Gyro Orion. Pipistrel Virus SW. Pipistrel Virus SW right there. Just taking off. I think that's Rand Fulmer flying that Virus SW there. They're in booth 4. So the 915 AG experimental aircraft, the Gyro, Richard Lanning is piloting that. Richard Lanning, they're in LP30, also known as Blades Over Me, gyrocopter flight training. Blades Over Me is a group of professionals providing gyrocopter training, sales, and aerial services, and they're based in the Treasure Coast of Florida. 772-217-3094. And you can email them at bladesinfo@bladesoverme. The aerial services they provide are real estate photography and video, image acquisition solutions, precision farming solutions, and electric utility solutions. Aircraft sales is they're involved in the Sky Blazer gyrocraft team. Sky Blazer gyrocopters are assembled in Vero Beach, Florida. They're warming up that gyrocopter there. Well, thank you very much.
Do me a favor, tell my boss.
Now, this is all volunteer here, but if you like what I'm doing, tell the boss. Tell the guy in the headquarters tent over there. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. So we've got a request for the tour. So next time the tour comes down, I'll stop it. We'll let you on there. No problem. I'll see him. I'll let you know.
Hybrid parasite free flyers, where we're located, and the proceeds go to our nonprofit.
Now that we're official sponsors, I can actually say it, but Planet PPG and Florida Drone Supply are providing the video and the audio announcements here at Paradise City Sun and Fun 2021. We have a late entrant into the exhibitor booth. We have booth number 50 is Air Sports USA. That's Air Sports USA in LP number 50, and they've got hybrid paratrikes, and they're 3-wing flyers. You can fly these as a weight shift trike, as a powered parachute, or as a powered paraglider. They're located in Titusville, Florida. Their phone number is 321-456-6404. You can always contact them at airsportsusa@aol.com. And these guys are unique because their proceeds from sales go to build their 501c3 nonprofit for Serenity Island. Serenity Island is an island they have that is, they have needy kids come in for camping and things like that. And today, what's your name, Dan? Today, we have with us a couple examples over there in their booth of these 3-wing flyers where they can be changed over very, very quickly. And we have Shayna Denny here with us today. Shayna, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's my first time here at Sun and Fun.
First time at Sun and Fun. What do you think of all this activity going on?
Oh, it's amazing. I'm having such a wonderful time, especially meeting all the great people and getting some good advice.
There are a lot of people here, a lot of stuff going on. Richard Lanning over here, I would really like to find out who makes that gyrocopter he's getting ready to go off on. And this one here, N43-2, EN. One of the Stoll boys. So I heard that you had an event there not too long ago at your island. Tell us about that there,
Yep,
Shayna.
we had our first official small fly-in called Parapalooza 2021, and we had it on our island on the St. Johns River off Mullet Lake Park in Geneva, Florida. We had a nice group of people there, about 25 pilots, which was perfect for our first one, and lots of people came that weren't pilots just to check out what we stand for and what our cause is. We all became a big family and had a great time.
Excellent. Parapalooza. I like that name. Parapalooza. That's good.
Thank you.
So all the proceeds go to your 50C3, I understand.
Right. We started, I'm part of the island. We're starting a 501c3 for healing with nature. It's basically proven that people heal better in nature, so we're opening up our island to any group from veterans to PTSD, troubled teens, anybody who needs time in nature to heal. Our island is available to them.
So I understand that your husband is the designer of the 3-wing trike. This 3-wing trike, I understand, you can use a weight shift trike wing on it. You can use a powered paraglider wing or a powered parachute wing. Is that correct?
This is correct. He designed a new hanging system and a new riser system that it makes it capable of flying all 3 wings with very minimum change-out time, about 10 to 15 minutes between
He'll know the answer.
paraglider and parachute wing, and about 25 minutes to change to the weight shift hang glider wing.
We'll know who makes that. Well, that's excellent. And so he does the training as well, correct? He can train folks?
He does do training, and with this aircraft, a pilot can grow with the aircraft as his skills grow without having to purchase a new aircraft every time he wants to grow with the sport.
So when you say learns to grow, there is a different category. With a PPC wing, it's still not over the 254 pounds, right?
Correct. None of our aircraft are over 254 pounds. When I say grow with the sport, every wing is has its own intricacies with flying. Some are easier than others, and so now a pilot can start with a easier to fly wing, such as a parachute wing, and then progress to a more intricate paraglider wing. And then if they want to fly with the big boys, they can go put on the hang glider wing. Even our paramotor backpack, our paramotor trike, has the capability to fly a small hang glider wing.
So I understand that I see a Simonini engine on the flat top motor you see there. So this particular one can be removed and flown as a foot launch vehicle or placed onto the wheeled trike contraption to be used for powered paragliding, powered parachute, or weight shift trike, correct?
This is correct. And our model here on we beefed up our powered paramotor trike a little bit because we've had a lot of requests to have we have a lot of bigger guys getting into flying, and their request was to get something that they felt more secure in. So we beefed it up a little bit. It's still lightweight. I can pick it up. And we also had a lot of requests for the foot steering because as we age, our shoulders and our hands can't be held up in the air as long. A lot of people were struggling with that. So our paramotor trike offers foot steering, hand steering, and controls so it's very versatile. And yes, any paramotor can fit on the back of it. And we also have it to convert to the trike.
Excellent. Just want to let everybody know that was the Sling that just landed. The Airplane Factory, that's the Sling TSI that just landed. That's the blue and white Rotex 915 powered 66-gallon tank. And that's a good-looking airplane as well. That's the Sling from the Airplane Factory, the Sling. And I believe that's Wayne Tudden that's flying that. Wayne Tudden flying the Sling. Hey, Wayne. Good-looking aircraft. So one thing I like about this particular setup you have there, Shayna, is that the Simonini engine is used most widely in the industry, and you can get parts and stuff very, very quickly and easily for... It looked it, didn't it? But I thought the Sling was only 2. That's why I didn't say anything. Yeah, right here. I just... The gyro that's getting ready to take off down there is the Air Gyro AG915 gyrocopter. Starts at $140,000. Introducing the biggest, most powerful gyrocopter ever sold by Air Gyro, the AG915. Air Gyro Aviation is a U.S. company that works directly with OEM part suppliers in Europe to create its own experimental kit aircraft. It's got a top speed of 115 miles an hour, cruise speed of 90 miles an hour, with a payload of 760 pounds. 30 gallons of fuel will take you down the street quite a bit. Minimum takeoff is 600 feet to clear a 500-foot obstacle. So that's pretty good. You've got more shoulder room in this, too. It's pretty wide. Got an extra 8 inches between the seats, which makes